you look at the numbers, and I've actually seen this, the numbers of people that lived in, like, say, the Freetown or Sonnet area from back in, like, I think it was 82 or 83, Alan had shown me the demographic numbers, to just recently, back in, like, 2010 is when he showed it to us. It's really only gone up by about 10 to 15,000 people. It hasn't gone up hugely. So, and even that, they're on the outskirts of town. They're not around the forest. So for them to keep saying that people see this and that in the forest is kind of crazy that they're getting that. A lot of the reports that people say that they see something, it's people from outside of the area that are traveling because they want to see it. That's what I'm seeing.
I mean, there is a population increase going on, just as the migration has come out to the suburbs with the addition of the commuter rail, and so they have seen more people that have come into the area, but it's been largely undisturbed in some of the deepest parts of it. And that's one of the things that I was most interested in with South Coast Rail, is that if it actually came to fruition, it was going to pass right through the Hockomock Swamp. And like, what would that have stirred up? What would that have drawn out? What would that have led to people experiencing and seeing? It looks like that plan's probably not going to work out. They're going to go with, if they do anything, they're going to go with, you know, an extension of the Lakeville line into New Bedford. But so that it's a good thing, because that area will stay untouched. But at the same time, like, we also aren't going to have that opportunity to see what happens as a result of it.
What would the workers experience?
Yep.
You know,
just from the first time they go out there and start clearing space for the track.
Yep.
What would you
there would have been reports. I was pretty much expecting, like, Bigfoot to just show up on the track.
Think so?
Yeah, one day.
I assume they'd probably come across bodies or, you know, older artifacts, different things like that, because people have been going to that swamp forever.
They were talking about having to dredge part of it.
Really?
So so it would have been, they would have at least had the opportunity, but it's probably better that it's not going to go that way. Although
I would love to see what they would find if they ever dredged the ledge.
From what we've heard, what cars down there, and that was basically just the dumping ground for the mafia to take care of problems. So
and not just that. I mean, in the 80s. Late 70s, 80s, they would just people were just dumping cars off the top of that just to do insurance jobs. So I know one of the divers, and he said that they haven't even pulled half the cars out of the bottom of there because they're so far down, they're tough to get at. And of course, being piled on top of one another. But
yeah, God only knows what's hiding down there. But
it'd be interesting to find out.
God only knows what's hiding in the entire triangle.
It's true.
I'm sticking to my story. There's a secret.
How do we get closer to the secret?
Investigate
it, yeah. Because everybody just scrapes the surface. You go and you hear Bridgewater Triangle, and, you know, kids are on the internet Googling it. And I remember even about 10 years ago, let's go to the Bridgewater Triangle tonight. And they had no idea what it was.
Yes.
Right.
People have heard of it. They don't really know what it is. And we do. And how often have these places been investigated thoroughly? Instead, it's just stories that are told that are scraping the surface. Yep. Which could be, I mean, there could be a lot.
But you need those stories.
Oh, you definitely do need those stories.
Because that is what feeds into the collective consciousness that keeps it alive. But it stops at the
story.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
You need more.
You hear the story. You know, I think, you know, the documentary had done a lot for the community and a lot for people that have been researching forever and ever. But again, it's just the story. You just hear the story. You don't see the thorough investigation afterwards. You don't see digging into, you know, historical documents or digging into people out, you know, on the ground and moving and looking and trying to figure out what's there.